69 East Stamp Creek Road in Salem, South Carolina. We've got an unbelievable piece of property today, actually more than one piece. There are 3 tracts of land that total 746 acres. This is a paradise for somebody that loves the outdoor. You like the ATV ride. There's at least roughly 80 miles of trails that have been cut into this property via the owner. There's a fishing pond that you'll see as we get into it, and again, just unbelievable views, streams, all of those types of things. So we're going to ride through this property today and give you different shots from different areas. You'll look here, you saw kind of an entrance. There's a gate as you come in, and then you get up here. This is the unloading area for the ATVs. What a great spot. So if you wanted to just come out and enjoy a weekend with all your buddies and everybody brings their four-wheelers, then this is the place to go. So truly unique piece of property. You're not going to find something like this very often. We've got there are a lot of easy accesses to get onto Lake Keowee as well. And as you can see, here comes our ride today, and that's the kind of vehicles that we're talking about that you could have coming into this property. So we're going to go ride through this 80 miles of property today and give you some great views. Here we are at what we believe is Cornhouse Creek. This is the property line. This creek just runs along that, and you'll see, just right here, it just rained last night, and there's fresh deer tracks all through this area, heading down to the bottom, obviously, to get to the water. So as we said, there's a lot of wildlife on this property, from deer, turkey, probably black bear, wild pigs, you name it, it's out here. So one of the spots, we've come down to the trail, and we're running the perimeter right now, and like I said, we'll move on. We're going to get over to the fishing lake and a couple other sites before we finish. Here we are on the lower side of the spring-fed pond, and this is the actual spring that runs through the pond that gives the pond the water. And look at this, how it cascades down through the hill. Just a gorgeous sight. And I love these beech trees. You have one, they're always found near the water source, but you got a lot of them down here in this little valley. And in the fall, you've got that beautiful yellow-orange color as the way they turn. And I think they're the prettiest tree in the forest, in my opinion. But again, great spot, just another one of the highlights of this property. Here we are at the spring-fed pond. Come down to this end of the lake the pond where I'm standing. It's about 12 to 15 feet deep. This pond has been stocked with largemouth bass, brim, and they do have a feeder so they can feed it. You'll see there's a pier over there, a nice little fishing spot, but something fun to do. A great little activity that you have on this property. There's so many wonderful activities, and this just being one of them. So look at the color of the water too. It's kind of like the same color of Lake Keowee actually, and we've had a lot of rain lately. To have this kind of blue-green color, that looks awesome. Here we are, another section of the Cornhouse Creek that comes through, a much wider section. Even got a nice little waterfall behind us. Just another, again, absolutely gorgeous spot within this property. I love this hillside. You've got the mountain laurel, again, more beech trees. This trail, one of the trails, runs right through the creek, and we'll head back up this other side. Another thing I want to point out that I didn't on the pond is that the owner also did a 480-foot well and then ran a well pipe, basically a half mile all the way to the pond site. That way, because it is spring fed, but in case you get into a drought, areas like that, then you also have an extra additional source of water with that well that runs. So that way, if it's a drought, the pond stays full, and you don't have to worry about that. But that pipe actually crosses just below us the Cornhouse Creek. So anyway, so we're going to go from here and head to our next spot and check out another feature of this property. Alright, another spot where we are going to be crossing Cornhouse Creek. Again, it's got trails all through this property. Now, where we are now is somewhere in the middle Another beautiful area. Little swimming hole under the mountain laurel sitting here on the bank side. It takes years for mountain laurel to get this size, but very nice sand, little sandbar over here, but just a nice cool place on a hot summer day to just be refreshed and just to hang out. All right, here we are at another interesting place. This old homestead here. We're walking through the house and there's no signs of a bathroom in this house. There's no telling when it was built, but maybe late 1800s, early 1900s. But they certainly did not have running water or bathrooms when this home was built, so kind of neat. Some really old hardwood floors, kind of a small plank floor in here, so you could certainly use some of this old stuff when you built a new house in here to kind of keep the history. And as you notice, I picked up a turkey feather. There's plenty of turkey out here with a feather laying right here at the house. So then over here behind us, we're going to walk over there, but there's an old barn over in that area as well. All right, you can see from the house where we have come down here, we've got area storage area. Obviously, you keep a tractor or something like that, and then storage in this little room right here. And again, there's some great old wood that people like to use in these newer houses these days for decorations, things like that, or maybe use it for walls or flooring, get them redone. But then you've got this barn. Actually, they could store stuff in the top. You got a nice ladder up there, and then back behind us in the woods there's a whole chicken coop area back in over there. So can you imagine, you know, again thinking back to when people were actually here using this, but again it's probably early 1900s back up in this area. So a lot of history on this piece of property. There we go. We just saw 2 deer cross the trail in front of us, and a lot of planted pines up in this area. Again, wildlife all over this place. And certainly if you're driving in one of these with this kind of noise, you can see deer crossing. A lot of timber value on this property as well. And now we're back in just virtually all hardwoods through this area. Again, we've been out here for a couple of hours easy riding through trails, and we're just literally riding kind of one trail, more or less a perimeter trail today. So again, they're just hours and hours of entertainment. Just some massive trees. another one of the many shoals that run through this property. And like I said, we've been out here for a while riding through this property, and we've seen numerous areas like this, and it's absolutely beautiful. It got me thinking about this. I felt like I'm in the general over here, and it's almost like a Jurassic Park tour through this just unbelievable piece of property with all these wonderful features, but yet without the dinosaurs. So we've seen box turtles, and again some deer and just other wildlife, tracks, things of that nature, but just an awesome place. So we're going to continue on, and we'll pick it back up as we get to the next cool spot. Okay, now we have finally gotten to Stamp Creek. The last one we were at was called Davis Branch, and this will be the third one we've been to today. Certainly wider, bigger water source. There's some absolutely gorgeous rock outcroppings up through this hill here, and you feel like I said, you're in land of the lost with this many acres and just quietness and running water and the beauty, the mountain laurel, the rhododendron, these awesome rocks and the water out here with all the nature. Just an awesome spot. So we'll see what else we can find here shortly. We have made it back to home base after over 3 hours of riding through this property. And again, we didn't even sniff all the trails that are actually in this property. But you can see unbelievable sights. You feel like you're kind of in land of the lost in there because you're just out in the middle of nature, and it's awesome. In fact, behind me, there was an old homestead here that has been taken down. You look at these 2 old pine trees behind us. I mean, they've got to be at least 150 years old. But can you imagine the old house sitting right there as you come into the property? But again, phenomenal piece of property, a lot of things you can do with it. Certainly would make an awesome hunting place, retreat, just a getaway for your ATVs. Matt can kind of spin around and you see the vehicle that we were in, which took the trails and something like that, or the four-wheelers, whatever. But those are certainly, these trails are made for all kind of things like that. Even Jeeps. I mean, if you took a Jeep just like the size of a car, you could get through there as well. So if you have any interest, give us a call, 800-682-9098. Enjoy the aerial videos because there's some phenomenal shots. And there's also a ridgeline, one other thing, coming through that last part where there were some very nice mountain views looking towards the north right into the Blue Ridge Mountains.